It's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
What's going on?
It's Wednesday.
Peter Michaels is you.
Patrick Bateman
Is me.
there.
How are you?
And we're back doing the thing.
Doing the thing. Getting ready to interview a band, a couple of people that I've been eager to talk to for quite a while, actually.
Now,
well over a year.
Can I guess how you discovered this band?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm sure it's probably going to come up at some point during the chat.
Mm-hmm.
But is it because they toured with a band that you are very fond of?
No, actually,
no. That is
no.
not it. Okay.
It's actually because of the album TV Baby, which
right.
came out in, oh God,
And that was
19, 20?
Just before the tour, because when was the tour with
Fucked Up?
Fucked Up?
That was just a few months ago.
Was it? Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure that was fall/beginning of winter.
Damn it, I miscalculated.
But yeah,
Idiot.
Pony is on the show today, or at least we believe so.
Did you get out to shows this week?
No, I
In
did
Red
not.
Deer at all? Okay.
We had Matt Good in town, which I heard was really, really good.
Mhm.
Sold out.
Just a guy and a guitar that can entertain.
Wait, did you go?
I did not. I've been. I don't know what's gotten into me. I've been a good boy lately. I'd missed the show at the VAT
Right.
because my daughter came home for the
Yes.
weekend.
Surprised you.
Surprised me, and so like typically, I'm just going to the show. And same thing. It was Valentine's night, and my wife is not really a concert goer, so I did the right thing and stayed home. Something's wrong with me?
No, you did the right thing.
No.
But you did fuck up because Ryley and I were at the Isonomy show.
Yes,
And
I've heard from many.
you and I have listened to the record.
Mm-hmm.
I like the record. It's not necessarily music that I would normally put on, but it's very powerful, very impactful.
Especially with his grandfather's messages in between. Is
Crazy. And we are going to talk
such
to
a-
him soon.
Yes,
We're going
we
to talk.
do need to.
I talked to him before the set, and I started the conversation basically by saying, you know, we want to get you on the show, and I have a ton of questions, so I'm going to save him for the interview. And I said that about 4 or 5 more times.
Verbal diarrhea all over him.
Yeah.
Nice.
So anyways, he got up on stage by himself, and Ryley was filming, and Ryley and I didn't have any contact until like 3/4 of the way through the set because he was glued to his camera. But every time that guy started a song, it was like, holy fuck.
Now,
This guy's unbelievable.
I had a mutual acquaintance of ours mention to me something about she loves the difference in his singing voice to his talking voice. Is there quite a difference?
Well, the fascinating thing was that he would talk for like, 5-10 minutes in between songs?
Yeah.
And his pacing was, I mean, the guy's got to rest his chords. Like, his singing voice is fucking crazy, man. I'm not kidding you. It was one of the best sets I've ever seen in my life. Am I wrong? Am I crazy?
Could you lie about it for me
It
at least?
was fucking bananas.
I love my daughter, but
Okay, quick story. I'm talking to him, Evan, before the set, and he's telling me about these music conferences. He's like, yeah, I do a lot of music conferences, great source of income, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I wonder what he's talking about, music conferences. Because I'm thinking about, Canadian Music Week or South by. And then after his first song, we're all kind of blown away, and then he starts talking about how he started learning to play guitar. It's before the second song. He starts mentioning these names and talks about watching these videos of these Japanese guitarists. And I'm like, interesting. And then he starts playing the second song, and it's like this crazy tapping stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's what you mean. You work like the music conferences. You work the NAM and you're doing like probably doing sessions or clinics there because you're fucking incredible.
Oh.
It all makes sense now.
Now that you say NAM, I do remember seeing something with his name attached.
What? Okay.
To NAM, I believe.
I didn't
so.
do the research, but it all makes sense now. The guy's incredible. It was very good. Very good.
Well, I missed out.
He'll be back, I'm sure. He'll be back. And I'm really hoping that our guests tonight make their way out here sometime soon, too.
I think I probably had a wonderful night with my daughter watching Seinfeld, I think.
Oh, is that? Your daughter's actively watching Seinfeld now?
Yeah, we started at the beginning.
Interesting.
And we're just about to the end of season 9.
Wow.
Well, because she is a Friends nut. That whole era of kids, I think.
I don't understand how those kids latched onto Friends.
Really latched onto Friends. And I'm like...
Because they would have been like 6 when it ended.
Yeah, because it ended
if not younger. I was in grade 8 when that show ended.
Early 2000s? It started in 94.
I would have... yeah, sure. I mean,
Yeah, so my daughter wouldn't even have been born yet. when it ended.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
But they
love
they
that show.
scoop it up. So I'm like, it's not that great. Here's a show from the 90s that was really good.
Yes, and now you can encourage her to watch Curb.
And Arrested Development we've been through together.
Yeah, well, you better hurry.
Why?
Well, they're pulling it from Netflix.
Are they?
All of it.
What?
Because I guess Fox, I think the idea is that Fox, either the contract's coming to an end and Fox reclaims the rights.
Yeah.
Which is weird because Netflix made those last 3 seasons, right?
Yeah.
Or 2 seasons?
Two, I think.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well, I do have other methods of watching the show.
Sailing the high seas. This is The Road, the Stage. This is Peter Michaels. I'm Patrick Bateman, and we're welcoming our guests to this week's episode of this very podcast that you're listening to and or watching at the Communal Creative Studios YouTube channel.
We're going to watch this magic happen. Connect.
Oh, my God.
There's going to be somebody on the other end of this thing. A smiling face.
We shall see. Or not.
It was you had such a good build up to it. I thought, shit, Patrick, you're making.
Did I forget to inform our guests that this is a video podcast yet again?
This is not going to.
No.
This is not going to happen.
That's such a.
Oh, yeah. An ominous no.
It was like a very sad no from the darkness. Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm excellent. I'm Patrick. This is Peter.
Yo.
Hey.
How's your Thursday night going?
It's good.
It's good.
I'm about to turn this up a little. 1 second.
Crank that shit. 11. Get it to 11.
It sounds good now.
That's better. All right.
You guys have that classic, quality home podcast audio, sounding good, sounding smooth.
I know the importance of sounding good and smooth as a guest on the pod.
Yeah.
And as a host.
Yeah, for sure. Of course.
I have to say, I've spent some serious time with your podcast, and both of your voices together are extremely it's just
annoying.
It's just a good thing. Oh, okay. Well, no, I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't going to say that.
Almost soothing. I like it. Yeah.
You'd say that?
And you guys are friggin' hilarious. So
Yeah.
I'm going to take
that
the
helps.
compliment because I think I have a really weird voice.
Yeah, me too.
Do you actually? Well, okay, Sam, you can't say that because you're a paid voice actor.
Yeah.
But I think I'm paid because my voice is weird,
I watched a great compilation video of jazz hooves today. It was fantastic.
Oh my
What?
God.
Did you make it yourself?
No.
It's your
There
My
are
Little
fans.
Pony
They
demo
make,
reel?
there's like fan art and stuff. Did you see somebody like remade the single art for Peach, but as Sam's pony instead?
As jazz hooves.
Okay, so who's doing this? Is this fans of you guys, or are these My Little Pony fans?
My Little
It's
Pony.
My Little Pony fans. But they're now fans of the band, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of weird because they discovered the pod too, and like I have no idea how old they are, like what their experience in the world or like interests are, and I don't know if like you go from watching My Little Pony to coming on the podcast and you're like, I want to suck Adam Sandler's dick. Like, it's a little bit of an aggressive thing.
So it hasn't changed your approach to the pod at all. All right.
No, we just got to be ourselves, You just got to be true to you.
Yes, you do. Okay, hold on a second, because I took a screenshot today of the last, I think it must have been June 27, 22, bonus ep number 22. I took a screenshot. I don't know how well you can see this, probably not, but it's you in this fucking enormous black water bottle.
I think we just saw the water bottle, didn't we?
No, that is not the water
that's not the
bottle. He
one?
downsized by like many gallons, I think.
Hold on, give me a second.
Oh God! Because my girlfriend had this obnoxiously large water bottle a couple years ago. That was just a target for being made fun of. For me, just for me. No one else cared. But I don't see that water bottle around anymore.
Remember?
I was cleaning the house the other day, and I was like, Matty, guess how many of your water bottles are in the living room? And they're like, 3. They knew. They had 3 water bottles in one room.
So why so many water bottles?
Yeah, Matty, why so many water bottles?
Well, I'll tell you. All right. We're doing a water bottle tour.
Oh.
So up first, this is my work water bottle.
Yep. The hottest water bottle trend from 3-4 years ago. Absolutely.
Small, fits in a backpack. Got it for free from a festival.
Yeah. Stays cold for 40 days and 40 nights.
Yep, exactly. This is number 2. It's a little bit larger. stays beside the bed.
Smells like grass.
I do not wash it enough, and there's a microbiome developing inside of it.
Nice. Gut flora is looking good.
This is my number one now.
Okay.
My main. Somebody left it at my work at the record store, and I adopted it after a couple of weeks. It's a hydro flask.
Okay.
Oh.
More than I would spend on a water bottle personally.
You're a water bottle influencer.
And finally,
The behemoth.
the big one.
Look at that.
And are you still using that?
Like a grenade.
It honestly, this is probably the one I use the least now, but I'll tell you why.
Because it's
I
fucking
bought-
huge.
I bought that because I looked up how much water you're supposed to drink in
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
And that is, I think that's maybe the equivalent to it, or like maybe that 1.5 or something. And I was drinking like 2 or 3 a day. And then Sam's parents were visiting, and Sam's mom saw me doing this and was like, if you drink too much water, you over dilute and you don't absorb any vitamins.
Whoa.
So the practical use of the water bottle kind of fell off. And now it's
Interesting.
just really big.
So
And
you
one
actually
time we were at the gym and Matty filled the water bottle all the way to the top and then just let it go and it fell on the floor and there was like 2 gallons of water just all over the floor of Planet
was
Fitness.
it? Did you dent the floor as well?
I don't know if I dented the floor. It didn't dent the bottle, but it made a gigantic, massive
They had to
mess.
close because there was a flood.
When I got the employee to help me clean it up, I was like, hey, I dropped my water bottle. I got some water on the floor or whatever. And we went around the corner and he was like, you got a lot of water on the floor.
Well, yeah. Okay. So that adds up. There's a scientific reason why you're not using it as much, and
That's right.
Humility reason
Yeah.
as well. Okay.
Yeah, but this is the perfect size right here. This
Yeah.
is the one.
Yeah, I'd say I got my partner and I bought new water bottles at Costco like 2 months ago because I was
Nice.
sick of mine because I also didn't wash it enough and it started smelling like shit. And then we get these, and I'm like, oh, this water bottle's sick. It's the perfect size. It's my favorite color. And then I realized it's a fucking sippy cup.
Oh.
Oh, I love
Sam
that.
loves that.
I love a straw vibe.
Well, do you want it?
I'm actually looking at
You
it being
need the
like, yes,
You
that
need the
looks
flow.
good.
Is that what?
I mean, I'm drinking way more water.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think it
You
is
drink
the
more.
power of the sippy cup, but it's also like when was the last time you used a sippy cup, Peter?
Well, I'm not that far removed from having small children,
Okay.
so you get a little thirsty. I want to see how the thing works. So like legit sippy cups.
I have a fake tooth that pops out every couple of years.
Nice.
So I don't like using a straw. The extra suction.
Oh, you're ruining the structural integrity by
I don't know. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but that's how I feel.
Sorry.
About it.
Okay, so you have a tooth that pops out every couple of years, you said?
Uh-huh.
And is that just like when you originally got that tooth, they're like, listen, just so you know, every couple of years,
I think
this thing's
it's
gonna
just
fly out.
The glue wears out.
Is that it?
What it
Okay,
is? There's like a
okay.
glue or something, and it wears out.
I should have had a well, it depends on which one of the dentists I've seen in the last few years who you talk to.
Yeah.
But one guy was like, you should have had a post put in and like had something screwed in.
Oh.
But they did what's called an onlay, which is not quite a crown. And they like basically gut your tooth. My tooth is like a stub that comes out of the gums and then like a little edge.
Okay.
And it's glued into the edge.
Brilliant. I feel like I'm learning a lot already. Or we've learned the science of water intake.
Before we jump off the water intake, it seems like it might be a bad habit for a touring musician that's got to drive a lot of miles
Yeah.
between gigs to have that habit. How many piss breaks on an average tour day?
It depends. Sometimes, like, if you break the seal, this is real. If you break the seal, you're truly fucked.
Game over.
And we had like a thing happen a couple of tours ago where we passed like the last en route and there wasn't going to be one for a while and I had to pee so bad. So we like
no.
pulled over to the side of the road and I was peeing and Matty was holding up a jacket to like guard me from
from view.
But I was peeing for so long.
So long.
Like so long.
Like the longest piss I've ever.
I couldn't help it, and it was making Matty have to pee, so they just threw the jacket onto me while I'm pissing on the road, and then they started pissing. So
I kind of feel like I gotta piss now.
What can you do? I also have an enlarged prostate, so I just piss a lot, and when I do piss, it doesn't all come out. So we stop.
We stop a lot.
A lot.
Is that fact, or that's another thing you just assume about yourself? Like the dementia.
Okay, it is not medically confirmed. No, actually, it kind of is. My dad has an enlarged prostate.
Oh, you've got
that, That is
genetics.
It's genetic.
Okay.
And my God, we're really getting to my medical history here. I had an anal abscess last year.
I have no idea what that is.
Doesn't sound good.
It's
You'll get one.
Is it like a like a hemorrhoid? Like a hemorrhoid?
No, I have a hemorrhoid also. An abscess is a blocked and infected gland beneath the skin
Okay.
that fills with pus.
Okay.
And normally it's nothing. They just cut a hole in it, drain it, whatever. But mine was misdiagnosed for a year.
Oh no.
And I had like a colonoscopy, did the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then eventually I just went to some other doctor and she's like, oh yeah, that's an abscess, and sliced it open. And then I had an anal fistula after that, but that's a whole other thing.
My God.
But what the doctor who sliced me open put a finger in my butt
Yeah.
and was like, on her way out was like, by the way, your prostate's quite large. I was like, oh, is there something I should do about that? And she was like, not really.
Just wait.
Just brag about it.
Yeah.
Should see the
I
size
have
of
a
my
huge
prostate.
prostate. Giant prostate.
Huge prostate energy. That's awesome. Well, anything else? Like, has anything? Have you been afflicted by anything recently, or you're good?
I just got my wisdom teeth out.
Sam got
Yes.
their wisdom teeth out. I got a big asshole surgery. We're good now.
Yeah, now we're fine.
Yep.
You're good.
I actually
The
had
holes
to
are
give.
all covered.
I
Yep.
had to give my blood away today.
That's
nice.
true.
Court
But-
mandated, or you volunteered?
I guess mandated.
By a new family doctor, not
Yeah.
by the courts.
Wait,
Not by the courts.
are you like a special blood type?
No.
No, he just wants to make sure I'm not dying
Oh, okay. Yeah.
before
that's
we
nice.
make it official. Yeah.
That's nice. Do you guys I've heard you talk about dentists a number of times on your podcast, Too Much TV. And it seems like you're very in touch with your medical, like that medical side of things as well. Do you feel like you procrastinated for a long time, or have you
Yeah.
always? Yeah, you okay? All right.
Totally.
Yeah, I didn't see the dentist for like 11 years.
Me too.
Yeah, it
Me
was-
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys.
It's just one of those things.
You
It's
know-
one of those things.
You know my story, right?
About the dentist?
Yeah.
How long did you go?
40 fucking years. I didn't like. I don't know. My parents were good, but that borders on child abuse, doesn't it?
Wait,
I
you
never.
didn't go to
they
the
never-
dentist when you were a
like,
kid?
Legit, from birth to age 40, I never stepped foot in a dentist office.
And your teeth are fine.
That is
They're good.
troubling.
God.
They're good. And you know what led to the dentist visit was I was eating an apple one night and I crunched into it and I just felt like this big clump of something. I thought a tooth broke off while I was eating an apple. I'm like, shit, I got to go get this checked out. No, it was just all the fucking tartar and shit that had built up.
Oh
in the
my
back.
God!
Oh my
wow.
I just
Wow.
cracked off a piece of that. So I didn't even really need to go to the dentist
No cavities.
at 40. But no cavities.
That's debatable.
I'm
enough.
in shock.
Fair enough.
Because were you guys braces kids?
I was.
No.
Sam, you never had braces?
No.
Do you know why?
Why I didn't?
Yeah.
My sister got them and my parents could only afford them for one kid.
Okay.
And her teeth were pretty messed up, so at the time. They're
That's
beautiful
fair.
now.
We were also a no braces family. I think money was the primary factor. But I remember going to a dentist before I left Ontario to move to Alberta. Whatever, I was 19, and go for my checkup, and the dentist's like, if you got braces, then your jaw will jut out a little bit more. I was like, but what about my teeth? Like, well, no, it's just like your jaw's a little receded. It would just. I was like, you're not gonna get me on this. Braces for fucking jaws business.
I thought you did it, and the beard was just to cover it up now.
No, the beard is to cover up my abnormally small chin, I guess. I don't know.
Virgin, no braces, Chad braces.
Well, anyways, okay, this has been a fantastic start to the episode. But first of all, continuing things on, congrats on the new single release and an album announcement.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's exciting. How long have you been waiting on this news for?
Well, it's less time than
A year,
usual.
actually. I think we went into the studio like this time last year to do the first half, and then
Yeah, we did it in a weird way where we recorded 5 songs a year ago and started releasing them before we finished the second half.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we recorded the second half in November,
yeah.
had it mixed in December, and now
Did
We're
pre-releasing those songs affect what you went back into the studio and finished at all?
well, we ended up going to a different studio.
Yeah, we switched it up for the back half and had the previous songs remixed by the new engineer,
Yeah.
Who is
Alex Gamble.
right?
Shout
So
out Alex Gamble.
is this like this specific music ecosystem that you spent the second half of the album working on? Is that very different from the first situation you're in?
Yes.
Yeah, we went back to the studio that we did TV Baby in,
Right.
which is Union Sound in Toronto,
Mhm.
and it's just
Beautiful.
it's like a big, beautiful space that
yeah.
ended up costing a lot more money, but
Yeah.
was
but it was
ultimately like worth
it was
it. For
worth
sure.
it. And Alex is like very very fun, easy, cool to work with, works super long hours, and was just like like no idea was a bad idea. So if someone had an idea, we would try it out. If it didn't work, it didn't work, but like he made us try everything, and I think the songs really like blossomed, for lack of a better word, because of that.
Yeah,
And he's worked with Fucked Up, so that's
yeah, that was our
bonus.
connection.
That was how we found out about him, was when we were on tour with Fucked Up. We weren't sure what we were going to do with the back half of the record, and Mike was like, you got to go to Alex Gamble. You got to, and then he just like set it up for us and everything. So Mike is our angel.
Yeah,
That's awesome. What a mensch to have.
Absolutely.
yeah, big time.
And this is the project that started off with the writing a song a week, and you guys ended up with 200. Is that?
Sort of.
Some of them, yeah.
I think about half the record is stuff that we cherry picked from the pod and like really reworked.
Okay.
I actually listened to one of the songs, the next single that's coming out. I listened to it today and was like the original version from the pod and was kind of blown away by how different it is. But yeah, so we did this podcast where we wrote a song every week. We're not so good at doing it every week now, but in the depth of the pandemic, that was a lot easier. We each wrote and recorded a song every week and would release it on the podcast. And it was usually, it was influenced by an episode of TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
And
it's like
so-
an insanely ambitious thing to set out to do.
Mhm.
And like
yeah,
when
like
you,
the hardest version of doing a podcast.
yeah, like I forget what episode I was listening to recently, but you were talking about not being in the zone of writing and like struggling with it. And like part of me wants to yell at my whatever I'm listening to the podcast on, be like, you don't have to do this every episode. It's fine. No one's gonna be upset.
The first little while, it really felt like I think for the first year and a half,
Yeah.
we didn't miss.
We
a
didn't
week.
miss like a week. We didn't miss a song. And like it really felt like if we had to miss a week,
I think
we were
we-
letting people down.
I think the first time we missed a week was like a death in the family
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Prior to that, it was like every single week, no matter how miserable it made me to do it.
Yeah, such a lofty goal. I mean, huge respect to you guys for
Yeah.
doing that, but it's
Thank you.
okay. You don't have to. Don't feel bad about it not being on the last episode or whatever it is. That's hilarious. I remember like because when we went for our podcast, what did we go like 70 episodes before we took a week off?
Give or take.
Something
Yeah, it was a long
fucking
time.
Crazy
Yeah.
like that.
That's you feel that pressure, right? You just want to keep.
Yeah, for sure.
Totally.
But
Yeah.
it's like I've discovered about myself that like I really thrive on being consistent like that.
Yeah, routine.
Routine. I love routine,
Mhm.
live for it. But the second if I miss one time,
day,
it's
done.
hard to go
Yeah.
back. It's so hard to get back into it.
Are you
Yeah,
sick?
we were
Because then you break the seal and you're like, oh, well, I didn't do it last week. I don't have to do
Yeah,
it
no one
this week.
cared. No one
I
cared
didn't
last
die.
week.
I didn't go
Yeah.
to jail.
I was again watching compilations of jazz hoops on My Little Pony.
Was anybody else around you while you were doing this?
You know what's funny is I was at work
Okay.
in my normal 9 to 5 office job, and I had it on my phone. I had my earbud in. It's like, man, it'd be really weird if, like, usually I just have Twitch on in the background on my phone, which no one knows about at work. But if someone of all days walked in today and it was My Little Pony, then yeah, that might be harder to
So,
explain.
I was watching it last night,
At
just
home?
to kind of at home, just to get a feel
your
and
family?
hear. My wife was on the other side of the couch and she was playing on her phone, and I'm like, I didn't have my earbuds in. I'm like, oh, whatever. So I just started it, and it took her about, I don't know, probably a good 45 seconds. What are you watching?
Podcast research.
But it was great.
That's so cool.
It's also, have you spent much time on dokifandom.com?
I know that it exists.
How long ago were you working on that show? When was that?
That must have been like 2016, 2017. And I've never seen an episode. Like I did it and then I never heard from them.
Oh.
Well, I think the show like didn't get renewed, but like I never knew when it aired. I've like never seen an episode of it.
And you haven't tried either.
I have not.
So
not.
have you been to your page on the dokifandom.com?
I saw it like a couple years ago, but I remember that it was like pretty personal. Like I don't know who figured all that
It's a little
stuff out
strange.
about me.
More personal than anal blow-ups
Fistulas?
and fistulas.
Maybe.
I at no point kept that personal at all.
So for the sake of whoever posted your profile on dokifandom.com, let's just clarify some of the facts. You can also speak French?
Not really. I don't
All right.
like.
It's wrong.
Is not one of the new songs called French Class?
And has a French bridge, and the new song is called Très Jolie. So.
Okay, I can speak a little French, a little.
Okay, just a little then. I'll go edit that later tonight.
I think that's accurate.
And
little.
Samantha Bielanski is probably of Polish descent? Or certainly?
That is true. I am certainly Polish.
Okay, so I can...
There's a chain of, I don't know if it's a chain. There's at least one convenience store in Poland called Sam Bielanski.
Really?
It's a convenience store called Sam Bielanski.
Like it's and it's a chain, you said, or you don't know if it's a chain?
I think
don't-
it's a chain, but I feel like maybe I made that
I
up.
don't know, but so bizarre. I have to go.
You got to get
I have
out
to
there
find
for
it
a
now.
photo shoot at least. That would be a wicked album cover.
Yeah,
Damn, interesting.
Sam Bielanski.
So again, back to the album. Velveteen is out May 19th. A title based on your insomnia. There it is.
Can you see this?
Oh my God.
Isn't that so weird?
What does that mean?
I don't.
What
I
does
don't
your
know,
name
but
mean?
That
And where's your cut?
Smokes and
Right?
soda? Is that what your name means?
maybe.
It's the Polish way of saying Daisy Mart.
Sam just means 7, and Bielanski means 11.
Okay, but so you speak French but not Polish.
That is correct.
Okay. Well,
Polish is the craziest language, and it sounds haunted.
Even like a word here, that like, so I'm from Dutch descent, and I can't speak
Yeah.
any of it except for some not so nice
Curse words?
So not even any
Classic.
Polish curse words?
I used to be able to do the Our Father in Polish, but which really sounded so haunted, but I can't anymore.
Can you fake a little of it? Even?
I don't think I can. I don't want to do my people dirty like that, you know?
That's fair. That's fair.
My grandfather used to do it in Dutch, and I have no idea. Like,
The prayer?
the prayer.
Okay.
And all I can remember, cause like just as a kid, was and there's just a lot of hachen and all
Yeah.
before supper. And I just didn't know what was. Anyways, that's almost exactly what it sounded like. There's just a lot of hachen and ochen and a geven over and over.
Now you definitely don't have to do it, Sam. Don't worry.
I embarrassed my entire culture.
Okay, Velveteen.
Okay.
Insomnia.
Velveteen.
Coping mechanisms. Tell us about it.
Totally. Well, I couldn't sleep, basically, for
Period.
like a long time. And like going to bed just felt like horrible, and I knew it was coming every night, and so I put the story on. What is the podcast?
Snoozecast.
Snoozecast. Shout out Snoozecast.
That's
I
like
think they just read like public domain stories
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
in a like ASMR type
Really
voice.
like soothing.
There's two people who do it. There's
voice.
a woman who reads and then a guy.
We never listened to the guy.
Can't.
Okay.
No, sorry.
I turn it
if
off
for
as soon
some
as I
reason
hear
he
it.
happens to hear this, I'm sorry, but
But
He
the
needed to hear it.
Velveteen,
yeah, don't do it anymore, please.
the Velveteen Rabbit was such a soothing story, and I listened to it every night, and then I just became like so attached to it. But then like as my insomnia progressed, I would hear more and more of the story. And there were just like parts, like I would cry in the middle of the night listening to this story because it was so frickin' sad. And it just like, I don't know, like became like a part of my identity for a while.
There was also a few elements of it that we both found like kind of
Perplexing.
I don't want to say confusing, but like definitely debatable
Okay.
that we tried to get some answers about from people. So it just became like a big
A big
thing
part of
for
our
us for
life,
some
yeah.
reason. I think there's an episode of the pod where we talk about it at length from like months and months ago.
Okay.
And so many people message us being like, that story traumatized me as a child.
Do you remember this
Like-
this story very well?
Well, I do, but I mean, it's been a long time,
Right.
so I'm curious as to how it holds up. I mean, it's a pretty classic tale, right?
For
yeah.
sure.
I was just like, so we were listening to it, and there were some scenes in the story that were really like heartbreaking, like the scene where the Velveteen Rabbit sees the two rabbits, like the real rabbits in the forest, and he's like thinks he's real, and they're like, yeah, you're not real, you can't jump high, and he's like, I jump high all the time when like the little boy throws me in the air, and they're like actually jumping around, and they like make fun of him and stuff. So rude. But like he like still believes he's real, and it's like this beautiful story about like the love that you give and receive, like making you whole, I thought. And then they just throw the rabbit away,
Yeah, the kid gets like
scarlet fever,
scarlet
or
fever.
something.
Yeah.
And they throw the rabbit away, and
the
then
kid died?
No, the kid
the
lives.
kid
Did you not know the
lived.
story?
But
I don't remember. I mean, I haven't. Sorry.
but because I think they like
Oh,
get
right.
rid of everything.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
burn it
Yeah.
all.
Burn
or
it
some
all.
shit.
Burn
Yeah,
it
yeah.
all. And so they're about to burn the Velveteen Rabbit, and like I feel like the Velveteen Rabbit is having like this realization that he's gonna die, and it's very like dramatic. And then a fairy appears and like actually turns him into
Does he
a
cry?
real rabbit.
He cries,
He
right?
cries.
It's a tear,
Yes.
and then the fairy comes out of the tear.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Sounds
so
like a
that
fucking
confused
nightmare.
me. Yeah, like I was like,
It's so sad.
I don't get it, because maybe I'm literally stupid, which maybe I am, but I was like, why? Like, what's the message that, like, because he already thought he was real, but then he actually becomes real because of a fairy, but
The-
not, like, I don't know. I just,
The end feels like it's like this beautiful story, and then the end feels incredibly focus grouped.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They
okay.
showed it to an audience, and the audience was like, "No, too sad. You need
we
to
need
make
a
him
fairy.
real."
Who's
need a
this?
fairy.
Who's this?
This is Snail.
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 Right,
All right.
Snail the kitty.
Another
has made it
addition to the
appearance.
Doki fandom.
Oh yeah, put that in there.
Well, that's it sounds yeah, very haunting.
Yeah.
Not
we
just
just
the
became obsessed.
So like how long is the clip, like the actual episode of them reading this?
I think it's like 30
I
minutes.
think it's
maybe.
30 minutes,
gonna say,
yeah.
And
like,
would you
I
just
don't know
play it
that-
on loop?
Yeah.
Oh
and
my
it would
God.
and it would end, and I would wake up, and then I would start it over again.
Yeah, there's never been a film adaptation, right? Like it's all.
Well,
it's
there
all
will be soon.
short stories. Like it's all. Yeah, every one that I've
Yeah.
seen was like about 20 minutes.
Yeah, and like people, I think I watched one on YouTube of Meryl Streep reading it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had searched it up, but the famous audiobook for is Richard Armitage, some like famous voice actor.
Christopher Plummer, I want to say. has
Christopher Plummer. Oh, sir.
Oh.
Sir.
Rest in
Christopher
peace.
Plummer. Thank you. Okay, Velveteen comes out May 19th. You've already dropped 4 or 5 of the singles so far?
Four. Yeah.
5th coming up, and then album release?
Yes.
That's right.
And then what about coming out to the prairies in Western Canada? Come
That
on
would
now.
be nice.
We would love to, but it's hard to get out there.
It
Wow,
is.
when you got to stop and
It's-
pee every 15
I
minutes,
know.
fucking
That's
take
right.
you forever to get out here.
It's
I've done one tour through Canada to the West Coast.
Yeah.
And even then we skipped the part where you have to go north in Ontario and
Yeah.
like come back around. We went through the States and went to Winnipeg or whatever. Those drives are long.
Yeah, when you
Very boring.
when you realize how big Ontario is too to drive out
It's
of.
Oh my
huge.
God.
It's fucking mad. It's madness. It is.
Huge.
Yeah.
It is half of like when my buddy and I left Ontario to move to Calgary. Yeah, just to get to Winnipeg or the Ontario border was literally half of our trip.
yeah.
It's
Days.
nuts.
And then it's boring as hell for like
Yeah.
2 days. Yeah.
We on that tour we're like so deep in the prairies, like nothing but fields all around us. And we stopped at a rest stop on the highway, and there was a little Indian restaurant.
Oh, very nice.
That's cool.
Did you eat? Did
With
you
like
eat
a
there?
nice? Of course, I ate there with a nice little sit-down vibe, booths, the whole thing.
Do you remember where?
How? There's nothing to distinguish
I was just
any
gonna
of it.
say, it's so
We're
distinguished
like,
from one province to the next.
What band was that with?
it was with a band I used to play in called No Hands.
Oh, okay.
It was like I think it was our last tour that we ever did.
The prairies did you guys in?
Yeah, that. No, we got robbed on the first day of the tour in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
That'll do
So
it
I think
too.
it was shot right then, maybe.
Sam, what about you? Have you been out this way performing?
Yeah, we played Sled Island
Oh, okay.
1 year. I think 1 year.
I also played Sled Island one
And
year.
it was so fun. We loved it so much. And we were staying with our bass player at the time's grandparents, and they were just like the sweetest people in the world. And it was just like such a wholesome vibe.
That's good. That's good. Maybe
I have a little soft spot for Calgary.
Yeah.
why? Just because of Sled? In your time here?
Sled, I've played there a couple times, and there was a brief second that I almost moved there years ago.
Ooh.
With an ex-girlfriend, but then instead we broke up and I didn't move there at all.
Yeah.
But I just kind of like it, and I feel like the overall bad vibe of Calgary makes the like good parts a little tighter, a little more glued together.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think that's kind of nice.
It's also cool to see cowboys. Like
yeah,
it's-
maybe as a
it's like-
visitor.
I don't know about that.
But you don't see that here.
There's also
You
got
know-
to question the authenticity of more than a few
Yes.
of those
Yeah.
that you saw.
Yes.
I do have a farmer friend that lives in rural Ontario that came and visited us last year, and we had some shows to go to, but the number one priority was to get to the Smithfield store
Yep.
in Calgary
Yep.
and get like a proper cowboy hat. And he does live and work on a farm, so I think the authenticity is there. But it was such a cool process watching them make this guy's hat. We were there
They
for
made
like
it?
oh yeah, we were there for like 2 hours. So you pick. There's just walls of like they've taken the material, whether it's I forget, like I think the most expensive was some crazy animal. I don't remember what it was, but anyways, you pick the size and color and material, and then they spend like 20-30 minutes
lot of
air
steam.
steaming it
Yeah.
to fit your head and to put in the dimples and the pinches in the style that you want. It was wild.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
That's so cool.
You could just buy a New Era fitted instead.
Yeah, well, for the price of
Keep
this
the
hat, you could
stickers
get
on.
like 6 New Era fitteds.
Don't-
Yeah.
There you go.
Don't get me bitching about New Era fits.
Why?
Because every friggin' hat, every.
You love baseball. What do you mean?
I do, but there's a size difference between every hat because they still hand stitch them. So sometimes I'll buy a 7 5/8. It's perfect. Other times I need a 7 1/2, and you just never know. So don't get me started on that.
Are you Matty? You're a big hat guy, right?
Yeah, I guess I am.
Yeah, you are.
I guess I am.
Of course you are.
Any cowboy hats? No
Like
Smith
big
belts? No
No.
Stetsons?
No,
because
no.
I think I did, as I was doing some research, did I not see a picture of you with like a goat? You were like coddling a goat in
That
a picture?
seems like something that's
Does that
probably
sound okay?
happened.
Okay.
That wasn't another episode of My Little Pony.
might have been. No, I swear it's
We-
out there. I will forward it to you.
We frequently go to this place as often as we can. This place called Charlotte's Freedom Farm, that is an animal sanctuary.
Cool.
So I feel like it could have been there,
Or
maybe.
blueberry. It's
or it
probably
might have
blueberry.
been blueberry, which was a goat that we met somewhere in Virginia. We were just like driving by a farm, and Sam asked if we could pull over. So we're like standing on the side of the road looking at the farm or whatever. And the lady came out and was like, "Do you guys want to come meet the animals?" And we're like, "Yeah, of course we do."
That's incredible.
It was-
What a-
I
Yeah.
don't recommend doing that in Alberta.
Yeah, maybe not. This lady was like, I think all of the animals were rescues, and
Yeah,
it was like a hobby
she-
farm, not producing anything,
Yeah.
just like chilling. We're both vegan, so that's our shit.
Yeah.
She was getting people who bought pigs who thought they were micro pigs.
Yes.
And then they grew big. And
Which
then
doesn't exist.
doesn't
If you're
exist, but-
listening to this and you're thinking about getting a micro pig, that's not real.
It's not real.
Yeah,
But so
TikTok
she
is
would-
not the truth of everything. Yeah.
No.
Don't do it.
She would take the animals at auction that like were abandoned or had like physical disabilities and stuff, and she was just like such a real one, like walking around in like the pig shit just in her flip-flops and then like going back into
Barefoot.
her house and stuff.
So cool.
It was so cool.
Were a lot of the animals in the house as well? Was it one of those type of
We didn't get to go
situations?
in the house, but I
Okay.
really could see
I
it
could,
being like
yeah,
that.
yeah, I could see it. And she just had like chickens just all over the place, and she was like, "Oh yeah, they don't have a coop right now, so they're just like all over the yard." And it
She
was
was cool as hell. I hope we get to go back there. The only thing I know about it was that it was near a Jellystone park.
Yeah.
I believe on the way to North Carolina, Charlotte.
Are Jellystone parks like? Is that a brand? That's not
Oh,
a
yeah.
singular
Yeah.
park.
No,
No, it's
it's a
a-
chain. There's
Oh.
one here. There's one here outside of Windsor. We stayed at one in Bloomington, Indiana, and we stayed at that one in Virginia.
Yeah.
So I know that there's more out
Yeah.
Do they have a mascot? Is there a Jellystone
there.
mascot?
Yeah, it's Yogi Bear.
It-
yeah,
okay.
Yogi Bear.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
that's
Yogi Bear's park.
Yeah.
all the parks are Yogi Bear's parks.
That's true.
What a gimmick for kids though. Like, hey, we're gonna go camping at this. Yogi might be there.
Might
Maybe
used to
but
go-
it might be at
stand
the other
to go to
hundred.
one when I was a kid. It was cool.
Oh, he did.
I had-
You've done this before?
Yeah. We used to go when I was a kid, and I had a deep fried pickle for the first time.
Oh my God, trendsetter. That must
Yep.
have been. That's amazing.
Have
Yeah,
you
it
ever
was
been
good.
to a Jellystone?
I think probably yeah, because we
No.
used to drive to Florida every few years, and there was some camping on the way, from what I remember. But I don't know. I don't know if it was Jellystone approved or not,
Wow.
certified. Do you often like you were camping on tour? You're saying you stayed in the park and camped, or were you just staying in the van?
Yeah,
we brought
camped.
tents.
We were very ambitious, and we are like, we're not going to stay in hotels. We're going to camp, and it was like so exhausting. Like
Yeah.
just camping is so exhausting, and touring is so exhausting.
We're not outdoor people.
Yeah, we
by the
also
way.
don't like bugs
We're
or
not
leaves.
at all, even remotely outdoor people.
Yeah. We
So-
almost, at this park, we almost crashed the van inside the park because a wasp flew into the van.
Oh my
And
God.
Matty was like going like this, and the van was
The
just
van was
moving
in
towards a
drive, and
tree.
it was just rolling toward a tree.
I live with a daughter who's the exact same. My favorite video I have of her, she was probably about 12 when it happened, and when we unfortunately tortured her and took her camping all the time. But we were out and we were playing like crib or something out around the fire one night. It was late, and we had just like the little light going. and moths are flying around everywhere, and she's freaking out. So I've got my camera kind of held down because I know something's going to happen. And sure enough, a moth flies right in her face, and she gets up and starts screaming and yelling. And as she jumps up, I can slow down the video. I can see that she crushes the moth with her thighs.
Oh, wow.
As she gets up, and she freaks out and runs away.
Have you been stung before?
Yeah.
I get stung all the fucking
Yeah,
time.
they
Oh,
love
okay.
Maddie.
Okay.
I don't know why.
But there was a wasp in our house last summer, and I locked myself upstairs until Maddie got home because I was like, I'm not dealing with
man,
this.
this is
I
all
am
too
not
familiar.
dealing with this.
But no, you just don't like them. It's not like you're not afraid of an allergic reaction. Obviously,
Well,
Matty has
my
no issues
dad-
with allergies.
No, no.
My dad was severely allergic.
Yeah.
And the time that I was stung once, the little prick or whatever, the little wound, whatever you call it, he was a little prick for stinging me on my walk to work. But the little wound, it stayed on my body for like 9 months, months and months and months.
Really?
So,
I'm like impervious to bugs, and Sam is the opposite. Like we had a few years ago, a band gave us bed bugs.
Oh, okay.
A Hardly Art Records band
Maddie.
gave us bed bugs, and
No, I like when Matty throws them under the rug. Full first and last name. Let's do it.
and Sam was getting bites for like 2 weeks, and I was like, "No, we don't have bed bugs. I don't have anything." And we did. We really had.
we
bed
had them,
bugs.
and the bites stayed on me again
For months.
forever, like ever and ever and ever.
You've talked about moving out of your last place. You call it the bug house. Is that bed bug house?
No,
No.
the bug house we didn't actually move into. We almost did.
Oh shit.
But we
we
found a bunch of dead bugs, cockroaches.
Yeah, so this place we found while it was under renovation,
Mm-hmm.
and got kind of talked into signing the lease before it was completed. And then when we moved in, the renovation was ass.
Yeah, like it had not
So
been
was
completed.
not renovated. Like it was. We discovered it was also definitely like an eviction situation because we found all of the vents filled with cat shit.
There's cat litter in all of the because we went down one day and the heat had been on and we're like, it's freaking
Smelled
smells
crazy.
horrible down here. Like this is insanity. And the whole place really smelled disgusting, tip to tail. But yeah.
But yeah, then we had a couple days where we were like, holy fuck, like we got ourselves into a mess. This is gonna be a lot of cleaning. We're gonna have to repaint, blah blah blah. And then I opened a cabinet above the fridge, and there was a glue trap covered in cockroaches. And I called the landlord and was like,
No.
you have to give us our money back, or get somebody to come in, blah 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 blah. And he was like, well, I'm not going to give you your money back, but we can cancel the lease if you want to. Like, I think you tried to call my bluff, and I was like, okay.
Okay. Yeah, really. Yeah, thank you.
And we were luckily able to stay in the apartment that we were in at the time, which is the apartment from the Velveteen press release about our bad neighbor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And now we live immediately next door to that apartment in
a house.
Oh, okay. In
So
Windsor.
it's been it's been a long journey.
You guys, Matty, you're from Windsor originally, right?
Yes.
And Sam, you are not?
No, I'm from Sudbury.
Okay, so Windsor over Sudbury. I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever
Yeah.
feel, but you've both spent time living in Toronto?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
lived there for 10 years.
I lived
Okay.
there 3 times I lived there for a couple years, and I lived in Montreal for like 5 years.
So why Windsor now? Just a decent place to be for where you're at right now?
We just made a big mistake.
Yeah. we regret it every day of our lives, but it is incredibly convenient because the other half of the band lives in New York, so
Oh, shit.
they can
Okay.
fly into Detroit. We pick them up at the airport,
And
and
it's way cheaper.
it's like cheaper than us driving to Toronto
Yeah.
Right.
to fly them in.
And for some reason, there in Windsor, there is nobody who plays drums.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like there's one guy who plays drums, Matt Stewart. Shout out to Matt Stewart, great drummer, but he plays in every band.
has to play in every
you
band.
Can't, that's the only guy. So,
how did you end up
Yeah.
linking up with band members from out of country?
so our bass player is this guy Christian Beal,
Right.
who played in a bunch of bands over the years. He was in This Is Hell, Extinction AD, and has filled in a million weird situation hardcore bands and like did merch for Cro-Mags and stuff. But I met him years ago because I went to the fest in Florida with a couple of my friends, and I don't know why this is going back to camping again. We didn't book a hotel, and we were like, we'll just camp in someone's yard.
Yeah.
Objectively bad idea.
Like
But we were
unbeknownst to the person?
No.
Okay.
We had some people we kind of knew there.
That'd be kind of fun.
Whatever. And then we were at Walmart, and Christian called one of the guys that we were with. They had met on a tour or something, and he's like, "What are you guys doing? Like, where are you staying?" And he told him we were going to camp. And he's like, "No, come stay at our hotel." So we stayed in their very nice hotel for free, and just like we hit it off at first, but then like became close over years of anytime I play in New York, I'd hit him up, either hang out or stay with him, whatever. And then the last Pony tour that we did before the pandemic, we had a member leave the band and needed somebody to play bass. So I hit him up, and he flew out for that. And then the world ended for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when it came back, we were living here. There's no drummers here. So I hit him up and was like, "Hey, do you happen to know anybody who would want to do this tour?" And that was for the Fucked Up tour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's for the Fucked Up tour.
And you said us.
Pardon me?
You said us. We want to do the tour.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he was for sure doing it. Like we've considered him to be a member of the band since
Before
pre-pandemic
then,
now,
yeah.
But he Christian also tour manages for Iron Cheek,
Oh, okay.
and the drummer from Iron Cheek is the guy playing for us now.
Okay.
Yeah, Dan.
So yeah, very very long version of that
Yeah,
story,
that
but
story
it's all
is needlessly long.
needlessly long.
But we
It
have
all-
it. You had to get the camping in there.
Yeah, it all hinges on Christian, our bestie Christian.
Yeah,
who
Christian.
we love.
A short story is that Christian and Matty are best friends, and now they play in a band together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
Wow.
cool.
Okay. Got it now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
easy peasy. And
And they camped in somebody's yard.
Do you like?
Yeah.
Do
Yes.
you
No,
define
we didn't.
Pony as the two of you, or because Matty, you haven't been in Pony all that long, right? It's been a few years, right?
I joined Pony in
2018.
Oh,
2018.
okay. So it was well before TV Baby. All right.
yeah. So I was asked to play in the band playing bass.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then we went into the studio to do TV Baby, and the guy who was playing guitar left the band on day one of being in the studio. So suddenly I was also playing guitar,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and
You really
that was
rose
just
to
it.
the occasion.
Yeah.
Good
yeah,
job.
but then this album is a lot more collaborative
Yeah.
than TV Baby was. I mean,
Right.
on TV Baby, you wrote those parts like instantly in the studio, but this record was really like we worked on the songs together, and they became like, I don't know, we like really like.
I think TV Baby was more of a traditional like band in the room working on the songs, like
Yeah,
that sort of situation. Whereas this time around, it was like me and Sam in our little home studio area, like working
on them, like
songs.
trial and error, and
Yeah.
like doing
demoing,
like demoing. They like
nitpicking.
all evolved so much.
Yeah.
and- Yeah.
So the process changed a little bit. Are you starting most of your writing with vocals?
It depends. I have been because I had to write so many songs. I would challenge myself to be like, okay, I'm gonna write a song in this key. Like I'll like lock myself into this key so that there's like at least some parameter, or like I'm gonna do this
Okay.
BPM, or so it would change every time. And sometimes I would write the full song, just instrumental, and then do vocals at the end, which is not how I usually write at all. But because we were writing so much, I was like, I need to spice it up. I can't just rely on like melodies that live in my head. I have to like actually learn how to like write a song in different ways, because we're doing it every week.
Yeah, a lot of the initial demos for the record all started on Sam's iPhone.
On my phone, yeah. I would just make little demos on my phone.
Like using software on your phone or just okay.
Yeah.
GarageBand.
Yeah, GarageBand.
Oh shit. Okay. Very cool.
GarageBand for the iPhone.
It's the best. It's so user friendly and like it's so you can like make a song like so easily, or you could like go really in depth with it if you wanted to and like
Right.
record instruments. But it's like it's an incredible tool.
You'll be
Yeah,
making
that's
music in no
also,
time.
I'm ready to go.
Ian from Military Gun wrote all of those original, like I think the first couple of EPs were all done an iPhone demo as well.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
And Steve Lacy too. He
Steve
does
Lacy
that.
as
Oh
well,
right,
yeah.
now in the big old fancy museum.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That was pretty wild.
When did
Yeah.
songwriting begin for you? When did you start? Like, did you start with doing poems and stuff, or was it music right from the get go?
Well, it kind of when I was a teenager, my parents moved out into the country of Sudbury. It's called Whitefish, and for like the first while we lived there, there was like no internet, no TV. I didn't have a job, and I was graduated high school, so I was basically just like stranded there all day, and I would just write songs. Like I would like listen to songs on my record player and like learn how to play them, and then I would like try writing my own. But
Did you have just like an acoustic guitar or something?
yeah, I just had an acoustic guitar. And then when I moved to Toronto after college, I was not getting any work. I went to school for theater, and I was like, oh, this is not happening for me. So that's when I started, like, I got an electric guitar and I started making demos and I started writing songs, but it was very like sparse. I wasn't like, I thought like you have to be like writing a song is like this mystical thing where like it just has to happen. And so I'd write like 4 songs a year. But now it's different.
Now you're writing like 350. Does the theater still call to you, Sam?
I don't know. Someone messaged me the other day and was like, I love the new single, but I really hope you don't give up on your dreams of being on Broadway. And I was like, I don't know that those are my dreams anymore. I still like,
Well, it's good to have a plan B. you
yeah,
know?
it's great to have a plan B. There's
Broadway's
always
a good plan
Broadway. There's always Broadway. It's always going to be there. But yeah, I don't know. I love voice acting. I think it's like a cool middle ground.
Mhm.
It's like pretty theatrical, but nobody really cares what you look like.
Mhm.
So it's cool.
Well, I think you can probably have a lot more fun with it too.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, the possibilities are endless.
Are you working with an agent or are you grinding those voices, talent bank websites?
Yeah, I have an agent. She's been my agent since I graduated.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, this is our first. My Little Pony is like our first booking something. So it's been a long road.
We have a friend of ours that was getting into voice acting pretty heavy a number of
yeah.
years ago, and he got a part in, was it a Beyblade show or like
Something,
Digimon or
something
something?
of the likes. If it wasn't exactly, it was something of the like.
And then went to Instagram or Facebook at the time and was like, "Oh, I just landed this role. So excited! My voice, like he worked in radio at the time. My voice career is like finally starting." And he totally busted his NDA and they canned him.
No! Oh my god!
Oh no!
But he wasn't even like. Was he very specific about the show or?
I think he might have named the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god,
can't
that
do
is
that.
tragic. Yeah, we had to keep it My Little Pony a secret for like I think a full year, if
Yeah.
not longer.
That must have been really hard.
As you can see, I have a really hard time just like not telling. I'm not good at keeping a secret.
Hadn't
I'm
noticed.
really bad at keeping a secret.
Did you think
Not
twice
my
about
vibe.
telling Matty?
Oh well, I had to tell Matty, but I do regret telling our parents.
Yes.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was a huge mistake because every time we saw them for a full year, they're like, "How's My Little Pony?" And I was like, "I don't know anything. I don't know anything about that."
And you shouldn't either. Shut up.
Yeah, don't. Yeah. And they'll be like, "Oh well, I just told a couple people.
Yeah, yeah.
That's okay, right?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, they're not gonna tell anybody." It's like that's what you said.
Well, the next one, I take our friend's story, his horror story, as good advice for the next time for sure.
Yeah, that's sad for him.
That's also like, I don't mean to kick a guy when he's down, but you don't say it till it's done.
Yeah.
You know?
You're not wrong.
I do believe he rebounded though. I think he's dabbled back in it again.
Is he
right?
doing another show we can't talk about?
Well, I don't know about that. But
Well, I'm happy to hear he's still rocking with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, voice acting, that's a tough game. My uncle
Yeah.
just sent me his demo the other day because he wants to get back into it. And I was like, so what's the plan? You got an agent, or you going to do the voices 1, 2, 3? What was the other one? Just voices.com?
just voices. Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
tried voices.com for a few months, and that was like, even working in a radio station with like a professional studio, like I don't know how you could possibly, it just seems like a scam signing up for that and paying for it if you don't have quick, easy access to recording gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
My problem was getting up too early, right? Because all the gigs had come from the Eastern time zone.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not a morning guy.
Your submission 863
Yeah,
by the
exactly.
time 10 o'clock rolls around.
Yeah. But it is. It's a tough gig to get into.
Actually know a guy too who he started doing like movie trailer voicing. So,
Cool.
which I think there's only a handful of those in North America at any given point, but he built a studio in his car so that if he got a call or a job on his way from, I don't know, Toronto to Muskoka or some shit, he could pull over at Weber's and close some curtains and do his voicing.
That
Kick
rocks.
the kids out of the
that's
car.
cool.
And, yeah.
Another mutual friend of ours who's on the radio station that I work at now, she has a portable studio that folds up into like almost like a tote.
Yeah.
And then if she is on the road, they go camping and she just unfolds this studio, and it's not big, right? It's just barely enough for her to fit into it, but
Yeah.
she can do it
That's
pretty
all
much
you
anywhere.
need.
Yep.
That's
That's so
all
cool.
you need.
That's all you need. A couple curtains.
So I'll
Anyone
never-
can do it.
I'll never get one of these jobs without a studio contraption in the back of my Corolla hatchback. Well, anyways, congrats on your success with My Little Pony. I can't
Thank
wait to see
you.
your fan page on the mylittlepony.fandom.
I think it's up there.
It's got to be by this
I think
point.
it
Yeah.
is. I think it is.
And the fact that it brought in more listeners to the band is amazing.
Yeah.
I
it's
every
so
time
cool.
a single comes out, I hop on the My Little Pony subreddit and
Nice.
I'm like, I always post something like, "Wow, the voice of Jazz Who's has a new single out." So I didn't play on it or whatever, but like if you look at my Reddit post history, it's like that's it. That's all I do.
Those are probably pretty busy subs too. Like
For sure they are.
My Little Pony following and all.
For sure they
Yeah,
are.
they have a lot of opinions.
Yes.
Do you think there's a chance that
Yes.
you can go to, one of these My Little Pony conventions as like a celebrity guest?
I would love to. So I co-host the My Little Pony podcast, and someone wants us to do it live, like at PonyCon.
It's like
Oh
in
my
character.
God.
PonyCon.
The
In character, but-
podcast is in character?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the podcast is a scripted podcast, and I, Jazz Who's, am the co-host and like kind of producer of the podcast. And yeah, it would be so cool. I would die. Like, it would just be so fun to like see everyone like dressed up and like, I don't know. It's just like that's such a cool little corner of the universe.
So wait, this podcast is it's made for kids, right?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
not like the R-rated, like adults only My Little Pony.
Spin off of the
No.
show kind of
Okay.
thing.
No, it's like one of the characters on the show, Pip, she is like an influencer. So it's her podcast, and I'm her like
Stylist.
I work at her salon, so I am like kind of her stylist, but she's my boss, and so I'm just like helping her do the podcast.
Do you have access to the metrics on this podcast?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Podcasting for kids. I had not even thought about that until now. It's amazing.
Yeah, apparently it's becoming a big thing.
Is it on YouTube or no?
No, I don't think so.
Just the
but
podcast apps, huh?
it's just on the apps.
That might be a mistake.
Yeah, I mean,
I
just
think so too.
Yeah.
Knowing
Still
how much my
image
kids
on-
are on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Huh, crazy. That's wild.
How much My Little Pony merch is in the house right now?
I just have my doll, my action figure.
And you
Is
just
up.
voice it at home, or do you have to go into a
I
studio?
do it at home, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Primarily.
Sometimes they'll get me to come to the studio if it's a song,
Right.
but mostly from home, yeah.
What a year you're having.
I know.
22 is big. You got to play some really cool shows. Put out some sick songs.
Everything's cool in the anal department, Matty. That's just no
I
worries,
think
no
so.
concerns
I
there.
still have a hemorrhoid, but
Okay, well,
I think I just have that now.
I think don't
permanent.
don't an insane number of people have hemorrhoids. and don't know?
75% of people.
Thank you.
75% of people get a hemorrhoid.
Thank you.
All right.
Wealth of knowledge over here.
Listen, I spent my time in the hemorrhoid subreddit at one time because that's what they told me I had when it was misdiagnosed. And I was like, how do I fix this?
So
how are you all living with this?
If we find your Reddit account, it's going to be My Little
No,
Pony,
I made
My
a
Little
burner.
Pony,
I made a burner.
And one
subreddit.
hemorrhoid.
Okay. Burner for the hemorrhoid chat. What is something, and like I think I speak for both of us, but TV Baby is it's just such a great record. I still listen to it all the time. As a fan of that album, what is something that you would like us to know before getting into Velveteen? Are there any major swerves?
there's an NDA. She can't. That's yeah.
I
Now
don't
they're
know.
quiet.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's a hard question. It's definitely, I think, like a little more variety.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think our influences are mixed in a little more than it was in the past. Like writing for Pony previously felt kind of like doing genre work a little bit, where it was like what the Pony universe is like pretty slim. Like, would you agree?
Like before?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
And I think it's definitely a wider lane now.
Yeah, we've gotten so much better at writing songs, so I feel like the songs are a little more I don't even know
Developed.
Yeah,
for sure.
developed.
That's the other thing is that like I said before, all the TV Baby songs were kind of like Sam's demos for that record are just like vocal and guitar.
One guitar part.
That's
Okay.
it. And we wrote it in the practice space, which isn't really like conducive to any kind of fussing over anything.
Right.
You know, it's like it's loud and annoying, and anytime you're not playing, the drummer is doing something, and you know what I mean. Like you just kind of get the sketch sort of.
Yeah, and like you practice once a week, so like the parts are always changing, and like it's hard to like really zone in on like. It's hard to be like meticulous when everybody's always changing what they're doing.
Right.
And then like you write 200 songs, and that, you know, like I know that every single person who's ever put out an album is like, this is our best material. But I think that maybe we have the right to say it because like we did like 5 years of writing music in one. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, just from the singles you've put out already, it's immediately obvious that you're stretching out a bit more than what was heard on TV Baby. So that adds up.
And diversity.
I'm not going to debate you on
Even-
your own feelings.
Thank you.
Definitely diversity between those first two songs out of the four as well. Like,
Yeah.
it's not the same sound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
No, it's I'm very excited to hear it, and hopefully, Western Canada, aka the Prairies, get some Pony love.
I would love that.
We'll get rid of the
we would
bugs.
love that.
We'd love to
No
have
bugs,
you here
no
in Red Deer.
leaves.
Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly. We'll make sure it's entirely bug free. Okay, we don't want to take up too much more of your time, but Fortnite.
That's all
Yeah.
you.
And are you done? Is it
Am
it
I
over?
out?
Yeah, are you out?
I would say that I'm on a hiatus right now.
Oh, so you
Taking a
did.
sabbatical.
Okay, so that episode was January 27th of the Too Much TV podcast, Patreon version. And you
Yeah.
said that you aren't committed, but you're fairly sure you're over it.
I'm on hiatus right now for sure.
Semi-retired?
haven't played-
Or you got to go through a hiatus before you commit to retirement.
I think what I'm doing now, I started playing Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, revisiting that one, and I'm taking a break from Fortnite. I'm gonna try to come back and see how I feel about it.
It's tough though because there's a chemical reaction when you play Fortnite.
For sure there is.
And
For
in
sure
one of
there
your
is.
recent podcasts, Sam, you were talking about overhearing Matty's first win after what sounded like an awful, horrible dry spell, and the pure relief and joy of that battle royale victory.
Dude, I don't think I would describe it as joy. It was like
fucking finally.
no, it was like fucking. I was sitting on the couch and was like, fucking yes, like just like like relief.
No, you were angry about it though. It wasn't like it was in no way peaceful.
No, no, I wasn't happy.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I was happy.
I
was relieved.
do think though that there is something to be said about the adrenaline of those games. And
For sure, but-
reclaiming that is very, very difficult.
I kind of have this feeling with it, like I tried to get into chess a while ago, and just like reading about it and understanding like how good the average player is. I was like, what am I gonna play chess? Like I'm gonna play chess. I'm gonna be my age and like I'm gonna get good at chess. Like no, there's no way. It's impossible.
A little late, maybe.
Yes, I'm too late.
Yeah.
And Fortnite does kind of feel like that sometimes because like I can win, I don't know, 3 or 4 out of 10 games in like a typical like solo setting. But I'm like, I couldn't play in like a tournament or something. And I'm subscribed to the Fortnite subreddit also.
Yeah.
And I watch the videos people post of their wins and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Like my wins don't look like this. Like
Well,
people
let's
are floating
start
in a
recording
balloon.
them.
Yeah, dare to be different.
I want to see a Pretty Matty Twitch stream.
I did think about that for a minute. I did think about that.
You could do a whole like, weekly segment where you just play Fortnite with other musicians.
I think that
That's fun.
I think that if I did a Fortnite Twitch stream, it could possibly work and not matter that I'm not very good at it because I'm adequate at talking into a mic.
Right. Yeah.
What
That's fair.
you're
what
fun.
percentile would you say you're in? Like-
And talking into a mic?
No, yeah, I've already made that judgment.
No, succeeding in Fortnite.
Oh, like bottom 15.
No way.
I feel like that's
I
generous.
was gonna say that not
I
possible.
refuse to believe that.
That feels generous for me. to
3 or
say.
4 out of 10, I'd say you're doing pretty good compared to a lot of the other 6-year-olds you're playing against.
I don't know. It just feels like an insurmountable task. It's like I also got really obsessed with Muay Thai a few years ago, and then was like, that like there are children who've done this. There are people who've done this since they were children till now. Like, what am I gonna do? I don't like knowing that I can't get good at a thing.
Well, I don't know. That sounds a little sad. It sounds a little like you're closing some doors.
Giving up. Yeah, that's
There's
it.
a
Yeah.
lot to enjoy in life that isn't a competitive thing.
That is true.
You make everything competitive.
I do have a problem where I'm very, very competitive with everything.
I wish
Every
there was
single
1v1 Fortnite, because every once in a while there's a stretch of time where, and I played that game when it first came out and then immediately couldn't do it because the kids were just getting so much better. There was like this, I just hit a skill ceiling. Kids were buying attachments for controllers so they could build fast. I was like, okay, I'm out. It's over for me. But
watching people build is insane.
Yeah.
I've never built anything.
That's what makes me feel old, is watching the kids with that insane like zoomer hand-eye.
Yeah, it's
not
wild.
That is something I will never ever be able to set a goal for. Never. But
yeah, they're doing like advanced like U.S. military drone strike stuff, and I'm doing guerrilla warfare.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. You're a very underfunded military.
Yeah, exactly. Underfunded in my brain.
But watching some of your videos, which I can't imagine was the easiest thing to pull out your phone to film yourself winning a game. But watching those, I was like, oh man, I could maybe play some Fortnite again. But now I'm over it because you're out. So, anyway.
Well, I might go back, and honestly, my dream remains for a song from this record to be on Fortnite radio.
With its
That'd
own
be so
dance.
cool.
Not with a dance even, just like you get in the car and a song from Velveteen is playing. That's what I want.
That's the dream.
That's
like
my
it.
dream. That's my top goal.
Well-
and I heard today that Always has a song in Fortnite now, so it doesn't feel, not to say that we're anywhere near being on their level, but like it doesn't, that makes it feel a little more.
Tangible.
They're not
Yeah.
Weezer.
Yeah.
They're not the greatest band on earth, Weezer. So maybe we could.
I made it. We emceed a battle of the bands, and you do really like Weezer, right?
I love
Yeah,
Weezer.
we love Weezer.
Okay.
Tip to tail.
So I made a joke, an anti-Weezer joke, at a high school battle of the bands about 2 months ago, where this like punk high school.
Why were you at a high school battle of the band?
We were
You're
hosting it.
MC.
We were hosting it.
That's another episode.
Gotcha.
That's another episode.
Attainable goals, Matty. That's what. That's why we were there. So this one band played a Nirvana cover, and before the song, he said, "Oh, sorry if you're fans of Nirvana," and they played like 5 seconds of a Nirvana song, and then went into something else.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, is that a dig at Nirvana?" Like, I love when we dig at popular bands. So the next band did a cover of "Say It Ain't So," and I went up. I was like, that was really impressive, and more impressive is you actually made Weezer sound good. And this like 17-year-old guitar player looked at me and he just said, "Tread carefully." And we're on stage at this battle, at this event, and no one else could hear what he said. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh
That's
my
hard.
God.
Hard as fuck. I can't, okay, all right. I
like it.
I see what it is. I'm double your age. Man's threatening me over a really, really bad Weezer joke. But anyways. Yes, if Always can get on Fortnite, I think you can too. And if you don't, then what we'll do is we'll take some of your highlights, your victory royales, and we'll just put it to a song off Velveteen.
Yeah, it'll be like an anime music video.
Yeah, why don't you
Fortnite.
do?
Yeah.
Why don't you
That could be the
make?
skin for one of the songs on Spotify.
Why don't
right?
you act out the next pony video in Fortnite?
Interesting.
That's a cool idea.
Interesting.
That
Okay.
could work.
One other thing. Are you ready to go? We've held them for a long time.
I'm good. There's some good.
Jerica from David's Tea says hello, Sam.
Oh my God. Hello.
Hello, Jerica.
I still talk about David's Tea all the time.
Sam was talking about David's Tea today.
There you go. David's Tea in Ronsey. Is that the
Yeah.
location? There you go. Okay, very nice. I will make sure Jerica knows that you also said hello.
Ronsey Crew.
Ronsey Crew. I did like that David's Tea quite a bit, actually.
It was a good one.
Rest in peace.
Why wouldn't they let you keep your teeth? Did you ever
Oh.
get an
They
explanation?
lied. They just straight up lied.
They told me I could keep them, and I think that the dentist was taking a little laughing gas himself, and he forgot to tell the ladies who were assisting him that I wanted to keep my teeth. But I actually have a theory that my teeth were just so cute and beautiful that they kept them for themselves.
To put on display for the
Yeah, they've never seen teeth so cute and beautiful, so they were like, we got to keep
That's why
these.
they were pulled, right? They were just too cute to leave in there where
Can't
nobody
just
could
keep
see them.
way back there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Our dentist is the dentist I've been going to since I was a child.
Right.
I'm not going to say his name, but I've heard through the grapevine in the streets that he and his brother like to party,
Oh.
He's a party guy.
and they'll do their little partying and like get into fights. And
And he was dressed like a cowboy the
yeah,
day
he
he
wears
pulled my
jeans.
teeth out.
when he wears jeans to work. Another dentist in the city, a periodontist, described him as wild.
Oh.
And said he loves pulling out teeth.
Yeah. He did my wisdom teeth like 20
So you-
years ago.
You don't want to know where your teeth have been
Yeah, who knows?
since.
Yeah, it's sad, and I'm still mourning the loss.
Maybe there's like a huge black market for teeth.
Well, here's the deal. We actually have a dentist here in Red Deer that owns
Oh,
one of
yeah.
John Lennon's molars. So
Oh, that's
maybe
cool.
this guy is looking at, this is a person that I'm
Yes.
going to hitch my wagon to. I'm going to hold on to these, and
I'll
they're
hold on
gonna
to
be
all
worth
4 of these.
so much money someday.
Got an early pressing of
Wow.
Velveteen. Was like,
Yeah.
I'm keeping these fucking teeth. These teeth are going somewhere.
Him and his brother just doing massive lines listening to
Of
Teeth
teeth?
Baby. Tooth powder.
Okay, well, congrats on the record release in a few months. We're very excited to hear the rest of it. And
Thank
Yay.
you.
thank you so much for hanging out. We really appreciate it.
A lot
Thank
of fun,
you for
guys.
having
having
us.
us on.
It's been so much fun.
Pretty Matty and Sam Bielanski from Pony.
What gems.
Yeah, that was
Like-
a lot of fun.
Absolute gems.
And I've been listening to their podcast on and off for, I don't know, a year and a half.
I was going, and I mean, we had so much great ground to cover. And I did go through the last few episodes to look, but like as soon as I saw they did that, and I just don't watch that much TV,
Yeah.
nor do I watch a ton of more recent. So I was going through and I'm like, what did they talk about? Deadwood? Did they like any shows that I would have they done a Deadwood episode?
I don't think so.
The Wire? I don't.
No,
I went
I
back
don't.
and I didn't see The Wire.
I don't think so. In fact, in one of their recent episodes, they were talking about watching The Sopranos and having to take time because it's such a dark and heavy show at times that, you know, watching an episode or two every night of the week can be a lot.
Yeah, I do. I'm going through Deadwood again right now, and it's heavy. Like, and I always watch it
oh,
right
big
before
time.
bed.
Deadwood is
which
super
just
heavy. Super
it's
heavy.
Not a good choice.
Yeah, shout out to Pony, Sam, or Pretty Matty. That was fantastic. I mean, you should check out their music, obviously. A new Pony record, Velveteen, comes out in a few months, May 19th.
The 4 songs that are out now are they're just fun. They'll harken back to,
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
you know, kind of that pop punk kind of sound of the. I think I'd read something where Sam said she wants the music to feel like it was in a Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Did you see that?
That's
There's
awesome.
a quote they have about about the music being featured in a Lindsay Lohan movie from like circa 2004.
I've probably seen that movie a number of times. My ideal childhood crush, I think.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Too Much TV is their podcast, and they also have a Patreon feed as well, which is well worth the dollars spent. Yeah, they're fucking funny.
That's a tough one to top. I don't know that anal fistula is ever going to come up again.
We might have to make it. Regular segment. Anal fistula? Ever heard of it? No? Okay, moving on. How's
that's-
tour going?
That's the first question for every guest from here on out.
What's in the
Okay.
bag? So yeah, shout out to Pony. Thank you so much for hanging out. Peter, thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you to producer Ryley for chilling.
And producer
over there.
Ryan, who despite his illness managed to set up all of our gear and have it working tip-top shape.
The phenomenal Communal Creative Studios, which also has a YouTube channel.
A YouTube channel, which it's been a good 4 months of the YouTube channel. Subscriptions are up, which I'm sure has to do all with you,
We
whoever's
just
listening
had
and watching.
A very evil benchmark.
Yeah, we hit
set.
666, baby.
Dun, dun, dun.
And Riley's also been posting a ton of footage from shows at Bose over the last year and a half or so. And they are really, really good.
A lot of great
Really, really good. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on our social medias at The Road the Stage
Go check out those clips now and check out our next episode.
on Wednesday.